Well, it's a good afternoon, and it's a very special edition today. It's like one of the first ones I've done this year, and it's obviously May the 4th be with you. And I am barefoot today around some partial historical grounds in Immingham at St Andrew's Church. It's a very picturesque. It's a bit breezy today, but there's a lot happening and I've got a lot to speak about. So yeah, we're at St Andrew's and barefooting today, grounding. Obviously it's May the 4th, and obviously there's a lot of energy and forces where I'm like situated right now. And it's good to be out in nature. It's a very brisk, breezy spring day. But yeah, it's one of the most peaceful settings I've been for a while. There's a lot of gravestones around. Beautiful. Some very historical ones. 1949, so just after the war. There's a lot of original setting here. It looks around the original features, around 600 to 800 years old. Obviously there's a bit of modern, somewhere has been destroyed or they've added later on, say around 100 years ago. Well, this is the original foundations of the church. And it's named after the apostle St Andrew. It was supposedly around the days of Jesus, the prophet Isa, peace be upon him. But I'm in Immingham today. It's just outside of Grimsby. It's probably the most northwest that I can. It's like a portal town in East Lincolnshire, close to where I reside in Grimsby, in the UK. But yeah, May the 4th, so it's like a Star Wars special. And I thought no better day to get out there. I wish there was more sunshine today, but sadly there isn't. You see there's a doorway built for the little people, young children maybe that used to help set up the church. This was probably theirs, or maybe dwarves, we don't know. In Middle England. There's some very, very historical headstones. Pretty cool place. So obviously St Andrew wasn't from the UK in antiquity. He was born in what is now modern day Israel, well, the old Palestine. So yeah, it's an interesting weekend, bank holiday weekend. One for King Charles and his coronation. It's a new era for my brothers and sisters and cousins and all so forth in the UK, because we are all one. Never mind this divide and rule and divide and conquer. It's become very tedious over the ages. So yeah, I thought I'd get out today, mark my first video of the year. It's been way long overdue. Huh. 1924, bless her. Sam Ayers Johnson, who died May the 9th, 1924. Aged, is that 67? 1920, May 9th, so nearly 100 years. 99 years. Wow. Wow. Like pine tree. See a lot of churches, protection of trees going around the church grounds. So it's to obviously keep the church in hiding from back in the day, from probably the heathens that was the Vikings and so forth. Yeah. Gregorian chanting going on in Latin. Probably one of the first to do this with the old Gregorian chants in a very long time in this place. Interesting times. Obviously, after the worldwide pandemic, the world's trying to get to normal. Whether it will, of course, is another thing. There's a lot of frightened people out there. A lot of people have lost hope in the system, in themselves, which is quite sad to see. So very uncertain times. I've had to get out there today, get a bit of fresh air, good old prana energy. So I'm connecting as one with the earth, with the electrons and the photons and the neutrons, everything, energy. And I'm connected, tapped into that. Obviously this place would have been built on ley lines and so forth. And our ancients knew of this energy hotspots, like electromagnetic hotspots. This is why a church was built here. It's been sad to say, over the test of time, people have lost their faith and not really many people come to churches anymore. There's obviously a decline in faith, a decline in spirituality. Well, I'm very spiritual. I respect so many cultures and religions. I find them very intriguing. Just give her a moment of silence. So the sun is trying to break through them clouds. They're fast moving up there. It's pretty blustery today. So yeah, the coronation, obviously word's getting out now that in the 50s, I think it was 1950, Christmas 1950, before Queen Elizabeth II, it was a coronation after King George. And obviously I think 4 Scottish national students, they decided to break into Westminster Abbey on one cold winter's night. I do believe it's Christmas Eve, I'm not entirely sure, but I know it was over the Christmas holidays, and they broke into Westminster Abbey and stole the stone of scone, the Stone of Scone or the Stone of Destiny, Jacob's pillar that goes back to biblical times, and Jacob rested his head on this ancient stone. Obviously he's tapped into some alternative dimensions, or he's had an epiphany and seen, obviously he's named Jacob's ladder, where he's seen heaven, a ladder going to heaven with angels descending and ascending to and fro from heaven. So somehow in history, this ancient stone with great historical significance and a religious relic has found its way supposedly to the island of Brittany. And ancient kings was they was coronated. I do believe there was 7 kings in ancient England or ancient Britain. Like I think that I'm on the what used to be Mercia was an ancient kingdom that stretched right up to Northumberland, and I'm technically on an island within an island of ancient Lindsey, which is it's had many castles over the years. They've been built as like strongholds, and a lot of churches. One of the major ones in Lindsey is Lincoln. The Lincoln Cathedral has been built like 800 years ago. There's some kind of Gothic Renaissance, and there's a religious boom in the country after William the Conqueror invaded England in 1066. It changed the landscape of Britain for pretty much to this day. Well, let's get back to the Stone of Scone. So the Scottish nationalists, they stole the stone. There's the biggest and largest manhunt in history looking for this stone. The police was bewildered. How can we search for this? It's not a person. Obviously it'd be a bit easier if it was a person to track and trace. And yeah, they was bemused and bewildered, and obviously these Scottish students who'd planned it, they was regarded as heroes and returned the stone to Scotland, because Edward Longshanks, around the time of Robert the Bruce and William Wallace and Braveheart and the fight for Scottish independence. So the stone was quite significant to the Irish and the Scottish, and they used to coronate their ancient kings on this stone. So when there's warring factions between the English and the Scottish, this stone got stolen, and Edward Longshanks, Edward I, retrieved the stone, and he kept it at Westminster Abbey. It's been there for a long time, for 700-800 years. And every king, queen has had this present, like Elizabeth I, Henry VIII, James I. It's been a significant part of English monarchy for a long time, for generations. But by our ancient laws and on rites and rituals, this stone has to be present. But if the Scottish stole it, and then somehow a replica was placed in its way in just after, I think in April 1951. Arbroath Abbey, which was indeed a historical place to do with the English and the Scots, so that it was laid to rest there, where it was returned to England. And obviously they knew it wasn't the true correct stone, so disgraced royal Prince Andrew in 1996 returned the stone in a ceremony, and on the condition that it would be loaned back for future coronations. So which is going to be happening this weekend. Supposedly it'll be sitting under the throne chair in Westminster Abbey, where King Charles III will be coronated. But obviously they're not the true stone. They do not hold any jurisdictional power, or it's kind of a dark entity, that's a dark energy, a dark power. People are in poverty, spending vast amounts of money on this coronation is like pretty much a beep to the people. There's like a lot of people are patriotic, but it's for the wrong reasons. Be patriotic for the land that we live, not for royal heads. We're our own kings and queens of our own kingdom. We don't need to worship such significant others. It's a trick. It's like it's voting day. May the 4th be with you. It's voting day here in the UK, so this is a scam. You know, voting is a scam. It's a very devious trick into voting for someone in a democratic free world, but supposedly you vote for someone and automatically you renounce your sovereign rights as an individual. So you're abiding by and consenting for someone else to rule over you, which government means to control mentis, mind, ment. Govern is to control or rule. Ment is for mentis, which is mind. So mind control. They play sneaky tricks and the tricks of the trade where you do give up your lawful rights. It's all a scam, same as the coronation. So I did see an article, I think it was the Daily Mail, saying an expert said it. There's been friends of mine that obviously know of this knowledge and they're trying to get the truth out there. It's a mystifying subject. So obviously when I learned about it a few years ago, I was completely mind blown. Wow, the Queen has got no power over the Commonwealth. What the hell is going on? Yeah, it's very interesting. So in interesting times, we're surrounding Russia, China, saying they're the aggressors, what are the aggressive ones, where really we're prodding and poking these countries and trying to submit them to defeat somewhere on the line. If you back a dog into the corner with a stick and it's gonna bite you back eventually. So I don't know if they want that. I sure think they do want that. They want war. There's a lot of money to be made in war. Obviously we can't feed our school children at school for a dinner time, and there's like record amounts of families struggling, living crises, using food banks at record rate. Society is collapsing. Who's to blame? It's preposterous really that it's gone on long enough. Obviously there's a lot of people waking up. The people have had enough. They've had enough of like the last 3 years of diabolicalness and corruption, and they've made so much money over the pandemic, the scamdemic, whatever you want to call it, the plandemic. But obviously it's part of a plan, the bigger picture. So people will find out eventually. We have tried to tell people, but it falls on deaf ears, unfortunately. Oh, beautiful. I don't mind it when it's like this. I do prefer the sun. But it's my first time visiting here. I've been to Immingham numerous times, but the first time in St Andrews, Immingham. So, it's quite an impressive place. It reminds me a little bit of St Michael's in Grimsby, where that is more situated of renditions and renovations. It's more half and half, but it's very similar time period to the is it the turret? I can't remember. Obviously the tower. I'd like to have seen this surroundings and structure in its heyday. So I do believe there was some lord or sheriff in Stallingborough. Grimsby was Grimsby. That's a story I'll have to get into another day. with Grim and Havelock the Dane. I've got a few things in the pipeline, so watch out for some of these incredible feats that we're doing. I've changed my name from North East Lincolnshire Barefoot Association. What a mouthful that is, I couldn't even say it just then. It was so big, and so I've completely changed it, shortened it, chopped it down. Bare feats, as in not feats as in feet, but accomplishment feats. So yeah, so renovations myself. So you keep an eye out for that later in the year. I feel like I've had some turbulent times personally. Some illnesses with my thyroid. I was very unsettled and unbalanced myself, both physically, mentally. But I feel I'm at a better place now. I've come through the other side. All tunnels come to an end. There is light at the end of the tunnel. So if you're going through like tough times and you think that there's just no hope in the world, there is hope. There is always tomorrow another day. Like, you might start to feel better. Just try and embrace change. Don't try and claw on to what has been. Look forward to what is to be, you know. What a beautiful day. Just a shame a bit about the blusteriness. It's a bit blustery. I can live with that. At least it's not chucking it down with rain. We've had a lot of rain in April. So it's May now. Summer's round the corner. Summer is round the corner. But now I've enjoyed it, walking round. This is I'd say this is at least 600 to 800 years old, this tree. Ancient. So obviously trees give off a lot of energy. It's like networks of electrical, bioelectricity that obviously I'm barefooting in, tapping into, harnessing that energy. A current's going through, so it's spiking my bioelectricity in my body, walking around the trees, on the grass. See, all are connected. A lot of people don't know this, but obviously trees are alive, the earth is alive. It's a huge living organism that we live on. And grass is like very much alive. It needs water to drink and sun to bask and grow. And obviously everything is electrical. Bioelectricity is surrounded everywhere and everything is connected. The trees, the roots to the grass. And when you cut the grass, have you ever noticed the smell of cut grass? That's giving off a signal to say, look, we're being cut up. Ah! And it's obviously communicating with each other is phenomenal. Like, wow, mind-blowing. So yeah, the protection. A lot of trees around the country all go around the churches, and that is to help camouflage the church from distant raiders and stuff that used to rape and pillage villagers and obviously pillage the churches. It used to happen. Thankfully not no more. Yeah, I need to carry on doing my videos, so keep an eye on, please like and subscribe. I need to grow my channel up on like obviously YouTube, because I haven't got quite enough subscribers, so I can't really do live streams. So I'm hoping in the future, please subscribe, and I can go around more historical churches around the region. You can wow, 1897, Mr. John B. and Mary, 1817 to 1903. God bless. William Rockcliffe, who died May 21st, 1898, aged 75. And also Ivan, who died 3rd of September 1899, 72. So it's a good age to live, you know. Over the 130 years ago, 20 years, 120 years ago. Some good innings, that. And they certainly want vaccinated. Can't say the proper name because the algorithm's like red flag everything, ban my video. This one isn't as old, this pine tree. Not as old as the one over there, but it's significantly old. 1898. So I do love going around ancient churches, around the grounds, around the grave. It's a place of rest, it's a place of peace, it's a great symbol, and I just love walking barefoot around. Sleep walking around. No one really does this. Everyone wears shoes every day now. I'm one of the major few in the world, or definitely to be walking barefoot. There's not many. There is communities out there and groups that do it, and it's individuals that like to just let loose and let our souls be free. So we all become brainwashed and socially conditioned to accept a standard that's not correct. It's not true. We have to get back to a roots, really. Forget about this materialistic world. It's hell bent on destroying us. Only time will tell, really, where humanity's headed. We're at an uncertain crossroads, you know. Well, yeah, it's beautiful. I'll have to come back here another day for an update. Some good breaths. Well, I have to do a video on some of the breathing exercises that I've been doing. That calmness and tranquility. So obviously a Star Wars special. You grew up with Star Wars. Obviously it's gone on from strength to strength now. There's many movies out there. But obviously it's the age-old tale of the chosen one. Obviously Luke Skywalker in this case. It's an age-old story. There's one to fall of the evil empire. Obviously Luke was the son of Anakin. In a galaxy far, far away. So I think we'll leave it at that. Hope you've enjoyed. Some of the Gregorian chanting in the background. Me getting me pig trotters out. Obviously talking about general topic and current affairs and the state of the world right now. So yeah, definitely keep an eye out for more. I've got some big things in the pipeline. So I've pulled my finger out, finally getting to where I need to be now. So let's crack on. God bless. Take care of each other. And I guess we'll see you soon. Adios, namaste, namaskar.